Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines here. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. We got some information for you, and it's from this year. R3, SWIFT, CBDC pilots, Mastercard, IMF. What do they all equal up to? Ripple, but not just Ripple, Ripple and XRP. Oh, we got that in the XRP chart that'll set you sideways. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, cryptocurrency market cap is $2.79 trillion. The market is up 3%. 70,300 plus for Bitcoin right now. 3,600 plus for Ethereum. 104 billion plus market cap for Tether. XRP back at the number 6 spot at 63 cents. And we're off by 0.4 on the 24-hour, up by 6.6 on the 7-day. And we see the range of prices between 63 and 66 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. We got 64 cents on Fiat Link. So I want to let you know right now about Link2's private equity. And if you haven't done it, go sign up and register. It is super, super easy to do. All you have to do is take the steps to do it. Take the action. Stop counting yourself out. Start counting yourself in and go register and find out. Prove me wrong, because it's not wrong. It is one of the easiest things to do is to qualify, register with your paperwork. It's very easy to do and submit that information to them. And you could start buying private equity today. All you got to do is click the link to get started underneath this video and go get you some Upholding Kraken. Yeah, it's still available. And by the way, the CEO of Uphold's going to be on the stage at XRP Las Vegas, and so is the CEO of Link2. You know, a lot of people are saying, because we know that Circle has filed to go public this year, that this 2024 could become an IPO season. So maybe we'll get that conversation going on stage at XRP Las Vegas. Click the link to my sponsor below and go get you some Upholding Kraken. Look at this. Over 370,000 XRP has already been bridged to Corium, unlocking DeFi capabilities that leverage smart token technology. Moving any asset from the XRP ledger to IBC has never been easier. Check the tutorial below to bridge to 100 plus chains and ecosystems. Shout out to all of the work that Sologenic and Corium have been doing. Bob Ross and Reza and the whole team, Fabio and the crew. The work that they've been doing is obvious at this point. And for the record, it has been stated by Bob Ross that they were the first. They were the first to do this, and not second or the last. They were the first to make this happen. So this is a huge step forward for the entire digital asset space. This kind of interoperability is the kind of interoperability that we want to see, because we want that complete integration of all of the protocols to be able to talk to one another, whether it's through ILP or some other bridge, right? Some other connector, I should say. Right here, we see the European Union is planning to ban certain amounts of anonymous crypto transactions. Shout out to Procoin News for this one. European Union bans anonymous crypto transactions and state down here that the EU will be able to enforce its law due to existence of decentralized exchanges. How are they going to do it? VPNs, tumblers, and things like that, and the ability to trade some cryptocurrencies through paper wallets and seed phrases. However, at the time of this writing, European Union's new policy proposal is set to fully take hold in 3 years. And the amounts that are stated is that the EU bans anonymous Bitcoin and crypto payments over 3,000 euros using self-custody wallets. So that is going to require you to go through some kind of formal exchange or something at that point and make sure that you are KYC, CFT, AML is the way I'm taking this. So more to come on this, but this is the world we're moving to, ladies and gentlemen, whether we like some of this or not. But then look at this. We covered yesterday that Elon Musk had shared the circle will be complete. And I said, wow, how amazing would this be that, we know Elon is going to build X into a super app like WeChat, and you'll use this social media app for payments and everything all in one app. And I said, well, that Circle, wow, is that USDC that's going to be available for transactions on the platform? And it looks like it, because we get another hint here from Dante Disparte from Circle that says the @Circle is complete. So it does feel like this is a unspoken but spoken relationship that USDC is getting ready to be available on Elon's X platform for all of us for payments. I see a plan coming together here, and I think you're going to see more of that plan. But let's talk about this. Bank of International Settlements, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's Smoke Dog, and he strikes again. Discussing how a third-party currency with sufficient liquidity is needed for cross-border payments. You don't say.
With all that in mind, how do we deal with this issue of exchange rates and interoperability? How do we get these digital currencies to really just talk to each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think when we talk about interoperability, we can see it at least in 3 different levels. So the first level is how we manage domestic interoperability. So how we generate this digital currency solution and make this speak with the other things that are out there in a little bit in the idea of generating a platform so that everyone can connect to that platform and take advantage of the huge network externalities that we can get out of there. The second level is how do we manage cross-border transactions, even within the same currency, and that presents a certain level of challenges there. But when we talk about cross-currency and cross-border, then we face a completely difficult and different environment, and we can see 3 dimensions here. One is the technical dimension, so how we manage to get a system that speaks in a certain cryptographic language to speak with another that speaks another slightly different language. So that is one level of complexity. We need to get the technologies to speak to each other. The messaging element is fundamental. The second dimension, which is much more complicated to solve, so that one, the first one was the easy one, okay? And there is a lot of money that is being put in terms of trying to solve these technical issues of interoperability. Now, the second one is more complicated. It has to do with liquidity. So imagine that you have a pair of currencies for which there is not a complementary demand. You need to go and search for a third-party currency in order to make this settlement actually happen. And this really complicates things. So we need to put pieces of technology that can make more efficiency this use of liquidity so that more transactions can be settled. The third dimension, which is even more difficult than the previous one, is how do we manage to get homogeneity in terms of the policy requirements on different countries. And this becomes even more complicated when we think about, for example, AML-CFT and principles-based policies, and when we think about risk-based policies. We can code things that are very clearly stated, but when we're talking about principles-based regulation, this thing becomes really complicated, especially in an environment, as Tom said, in which 110 nations might have 110 different ways of looking at this. So we need work in these 3 dimensions: technology, liquidity, and also, and more importantly, probably in the policy side of things. Think about AML-CFT, but also think about privacy. Different countries have very different views on this, no?
They really do, and shout out to him for that. Let's take this. So ILP, Interledger Protocol, that's number 1. You got to have the ability and the technology to be able to talk to these different networks, right? Interledger Protocol is for that. That's why it was gifted to the W3C, the World Wide Web Consortium, that is the global standards body to oversee the internet that we all use. Gifted to the W3C by Ripple and Stephen Thomas. Liquidity, third-party liquidity. He's pointing to the point that most of the world is tired of favoring the US dollar, so they'd like to see a third-party liquid option to not have to go to a national currency and or global reserve currency. And then third is jurisdiction. How do you deal with all of these issues when so many different countries have so many different approaches when it comes to privacy and other regulatory issues? That's why we understand that it's going to be a multi-chain world after all. You need all these different multi-chains so these different respective countries can design it to their jurisdiction and their requirements of regulation and laws. And then you could have this setup for this interoperability through the ILP, crossing across the ledger. Everyone's plugged in that, the XRP ledger, to make a decentralized market, big and liquid, so it can transfer value of anything to anything. That's how you get the liquidity. That's how you revamp the financial world and the monetary system into the new financial monetary system. That's how I see it. Now let's take a look at this, because the Central Bank of United Arab Emirates initiates the first phase of its CBDC strategy with partnership with R3 and G42 Cloud. Well, isn't that interesting? And the digital dirham will be for retail and wholesale use. And then take a look at this. 2021 document is from 3 years ago. That's the document that keeps getting thrown around when we're all being told that we don't have the right to talk about this. Here's the other fancy point about all this. R3 and Ripple used to be partners. R3 had a 5 billion XRP option contract. That, in my house, is pre-allocation right there. They were pre-allocated 5 billion XRP, and they were supposed to live up to their end of the bargain, and they did not. Ripple took them to court to separate that partnership because they did not live up to their end of the bargain. Now, there was a settlement, and it's undisclosed what the amount that R3 got to keep as far as that XRP, but they got some. We just don't know how much. And what do we find out here from Smoke Dog? These notes from 2024 right here, and take a look at it. Look at this. There's a plan issued stable coins by late 22 based on R3 XRP blockchain. Oh, this is IMF, International Monetary Fund. Isn't that something? The sister agency to the World Bank, which refers to XLM and XRP as global stablecoins. You know, this is why I'm here. SWIFT says the results are in. Over the last 6 months, we've been working with 38 global institutions on one of the largest CBDC experiments to date. And we already know they're in the coexisting phase of introducing ISO 20022 standard. They go on to say here, and we're really excited about the results. In the second phase of the sandbox testing, we explore more complex use cases. We successfully used our solution to interlink and orchestrate transactions across simulated digital trade, digital asset and FX networks, and CBDCs for payments. Over the course of the project, over 125 sandbox users made more than 750 transactions. SWIFT completed the pivotal CBDC test, paving the way for the global digital currency integration. Make no mistake, global digital currency integration is happening right now with the largest messaging system for the financial institution, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening. SWIFT goes on to say here, SWIFT has the largest network and a strong cash flow, and it's not SWIFT saying this, but the report here that Smoke Dog sharing, SWIFT has the largest network and strong cash flow. It is possible that it can acquire new startups like Ripple to improve its services. You can see it right here, right? I have said, you know, a great merger acquisition would be RippleNet. Ripple Payment says it is right now, right? Ask yourself this, says Smoke Dog, why would SWIFT cite Ripple and XRP specifically in two different documents about improving cross-border payments if Ripple's technology wasn't in the plans? Even a UC Berkeley video confirmed the document was legit. Here you see the stack right here, right? SWIFT. Right here, showing Ripple in the stack. Why would they do that? They know what's coming. You think SWIFT doesn't realize how antiquated their system is? Decades and decades of technology stacked on top of each other like a bowl of spaghetti noodles? And then this, showing it all. SWIFT GPI, settlement on Corda, cryptocurrency. Example, XRP. Why would they show that as an example? Not because it's going to be the only one, but because they know it works. SWIFT knows it. Look at it. This is SWIFT telling you they know it. Everybody keeps looking at price. You're going to jam yourself up looking at price. This is fundamental news right here. And this can't possibly show you on a chart what's really happening.
Okay, so look, Western Union isn't going to go out of business anytime soon. They're going to adopt different technologies. Okay, but this is where the big money is. It's not in remittances. It's in these business-to-business payments across border. That's right. And that's why we have these kinds of companies.
I couldn't be more excited to be front-running the entire financial system before it actually adopts it. Here's more evidence of good news jumping off. Ripple cited a few times in the new Mastercard report. You've probably heard of Mastercard, haven't you? Remittances in Latin America, digitalization, multiple rails, and the strategic role of partnerships as an example of blockchain and remittances in CBDCs. XRP not directly mentioned, however, but that's okay. We don't mind. Look at them right here. Note, there are some other Ripple payment users listed too. RIA mentioned a dozen of government consulting CBDCs. And you can see right here, Ripple's right here. Look, it's all right here. RIA, right? Look, SBI using Ripple's XRP. Oh, goodness. Imagine putting yourself in a position here where all you can think is, the price isn't going up. Because the white catalyst, the white swan catalyst that we're looking for, where we've always talked about a black swan, some very bad event taking place, collapse. But the white swan moment is going to have to come in the same time that the black swan moment does, either before or after, because if we don't, then it's just going to get really, really bad now, isn't it? This is where we are. The white swan catalyst is regulation and legislation, clarity. The black swan event is BRICS potentially dropping the dollar, or Project Sandman of over 100 nations simultaneously dropping the dollar to harm all of us and put us in a state of hyperinflation with our currency, regardless of all the grace and kindness that we've extended to multiple nations around the world. They don't want the dollar anymore. If I'm sure of one thing, this monetary system is not going to look the same when we come on the other side of this transformation we're moving through. No, I can't pretend to know what it will be. I know what I believe, but that's different from what will be. There's a difference between what you believe and what is actually fact. And if anybody's sure of that, I am. But I couldn't be more confident in what I believe today than I ever have been in my whole life. And I'm not selling a used car. I'm just telling you my digital perspective, and that's the truth. And I'm always going to tell you what I believe is the truth. But I do ask all of you to vet me, to vet all the information I share, to vet all the different people you use as resources, including myself. Look at that chart. You tell me. Who's frustrated here? Yeah, I wanted to go. I wanted to have my bags packed so I could have gone the first time I saw it jump, but I wasn't ready. So you know what I did? I bought this entire time. And then when this happened, I almost took some profits, but I didn't again. And then I wrote it down and kept buying all through this time, and I still bought some 2 days ago. So this entire time, I have continued to accumulate. And for those who bought somewhere in this journey and said, I'm buying one amount and I'm stopping, good for you. You've got exposure, but you're not investing. You're gambling. You bought a raffle ticket. I'm investing, and I've been investing in years into technologies that I believe in. And I tell you right now, when it comes to Ripple, the company, and XRP, the technology, I believe in it as much as I could believe in anything. And I'm super excited to watch it come to fruition. And I'm hoping that 2024 will help bring this case between the SEC and Ripple to its final close. And we can get on with watching the financial system adopt this technology. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to want to join us. We're going to give this to you. You're going to want it today. It's Elon Musk, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going into some technology that is just absolutely remarkable and changing people's lives. It's life-changing, no doubt about it. I hope you'll join us into the Freedom Zone. All you got to do is click the link underneath this video or go to digperspectives.com and click the Freedom Zone and join and help support the channel for almost next to nothing. We'll catch you inside. Come on in. All right.